You'll be shocked when you hear this, but I can't tell you how many influencers that have come to me with 200,000 Instagram followers, 500. I even had someone that had 1.1 million Instagram followers and were on other platforms as well. And they're coming to me because they're not making much money in their business. Just having followers isn't a strategy. If it was, these people would be making a fortune. The people might be there, but I don't know. Are their followers buyers? Or are they just like random people just looking there to consume your content and be energy vampires and content vampires? Most likely what it is the type of content that's being put out is not being written, is not being designed, is not being implemented or strategized with profit in mind. It's just whatever they feel like posting, they're posting. And that's just not going to work. Now, there is no magical caption that will convert into cash if these foundations of your business, are not set up. However, I have many business owners who come to me with the foundation set who are like leaving heavy money on the table by not knowing how to strategically create profitable content. So digital content is a marketing strategy, not a business plan. You've got to have both. You're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk? You've come to the right show. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash-making advice. Now let's get to it. All right, so let's lay out step by step how to write basically a perfectly profitable Instagram caption. Now, the reason I'm using Instagram as the example, that doesn't mean this is a caption that can only be used in Instagram and it only works with that platform. No, what I'm teaching you works for emails, it works for blog posts, it works for website copy, LinkedIn posts, Facebook posts. I'm just using the framework of Instagram because most of you are wanting to know that. And Instagram is still the highest and fastest cash converting platform that there is by far. So we like them, even though we get frustrated with that algorithm. And that reel I made where I thought I was like, Hollywood was going to be knocking. I mean, that was some solid cinematography. And then like 500 people view it. And then I post one of like me dancing or doing something stupid. And then that goes viral. It's unbelievable. So yes, I get annoyed, but not really like gratefully annoyed because this makes a fortune over here. And if you're not making that, then you need to listen up. All right, let's break it down. Number one, make the most of the first sentence. You hear the hook line, hook line, hook line. It's what also comes out of your mouth first in a video. People will either lean in or lean out in 3 seconds. That's all you've got. So you got to put your good shit right up front. Number two, include a call to action or ask a question. So this is something a lot of people leave out and they go, why don't I have more engagement? No one writes anything in the comments. Well, are you continuing the conversation by asking a like normal question and then telling them what to do, telling them to type below? People are actually kind of shy. So if you're not really inviting them, it's kind of like in real life, if you're talking to someone and you're kind of over it and you want the conversation to end, you don't keep asking the person questions if you want a conversation to end. But if you want it to continue, that's what you would do in real life. So you need to do the same thing inside of your posts. Add value. I mean, oh my God, the amount of basic content out there is really, it gives me hives. And It's mental laziness as well. I don't think it's just lack of knowledge. I think it's mental laziness. In order to create high converting, profitable content, it is going to take more mental and creative bandwidth. That doesn't mean it has to take more time if you have your content muscle trained in this way. And this is one of the key things that I do inside my ProjectME Posse business coaching membership, which there is 1 day left in my Black Friday sale, which is my biggest sale I have ever done. You're getting $50 off the first month, plus over $2,000 in exclusive brand new bonuses. And the first, I think it's 10 or 20 people get my Money Juice mug that people covet, because there's only 2 ways to get them. If I'm doing some kind of a special event giveaway, and if you're in one of my programs. So you have got to go check out all the details. Swipe up projectmewithtiffany.com/Black Friday, or I have it right there in the show notes, and you'll hear all the reviews from people who are in there, all the details on what's going on. The reason why this is so famous is no one else does this. You want to know why? Because it's insane. Because you get once a week, you get a live free training from me and other special guest experts. That's live. Plus over 200 prior live trainings are in our membership portal library that you get unlimited access to. And you get to collaborate with all the people in there and go on each other's podcasts and do lives. And I encourage all of this stuff. I mean, this is insane. It's $3.33 a day. If you can't figure that out, I'm concerned, because I also have it month to month. You're not going to want to cancel. I have people who've been in there 2 years, but I didn't want to put a contract on it because I don't want anyone in there who doesn't want to be in there, because I don't want any of that vibe. So go check it out. Last day, depending on when you're listening to this episode. So this add value thing, if you would not be excited and you to read that post, watch that thing, open that email, then it doesn't pass the test. What we're going for is we want to give our ideal client the wow factor. Now, you're not going to be able to do that every single time, but you at least want the person to go, oh, wow, like that was really helpful. Okay, cool. Wow. Interesting story. Sometimes you're going to get, oh my God, I can't believe she's like sharing that for free. That's like super generous. So you want to make sure you're getting that result. So you have to kind of imagine your ideal client on the other side of the phone, holding the phone with her or him being like, not at their brokest, but at their worst, like in a high pain state, and they're scrolling. What would their reaction be to this thing? Would they read it? Would they lean in? Would they lean out? Number 4, I need you to write like an actual human being and not a bot. This is why I don't want you using these weird pieces of software and platforms that allegedly write captions for you. Now you're screwed, because now you're being lazy and it's not going to work, and it's going to be a total waste of time. Write how you would speak. Read all of your stuff out loud, everything, your subject line, your captions, the names of your programs, everything. Read it out loud. And if you wouldn't really say those words in real life, I don't want them going in. Suggestion is number 5, draft your captions on a separate platform. I know sometimes it can feel easier to do it right in IG and right in whatever, Facebook, but I can't tell you how many times I've gotten closed out and then I lose it. And number 2, it's so easily distracted to be on there. Oh, I need to go check this one thing. Oh, I got a notification. I use we, team, all the people. We use Social. That's a little more of a sophisticated one. When I first started, I used Planoly. I think they even have a free, you can do one account for free, and they don't pay me. I'm just sharing this. Hootsuite is another. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I used it and I found it user-friendly, and I don't find most things user-friendly. Okay. Number 6, use storytelling. Even if it's like a couple sentences, right? Like use words that paint a picture, describing like touch, taste, sound, sight, emotion, feel. Get specific. Don't just say, like, for example, like I had Mexican food. Say, oh my God, when I was eating the most incredible chips, my hint of lime Tostitos last week, this idea came to me as an example. So infuse storytelling into your brand. Share a story about a client. Share a story about where you were at and where you're at now. Share a story about a lesson you learned doing something last week. People remember stories more than anything else. Number 7, use emojis and have fun. I would say limit them on LinkedIn, but I'm not saying they can't be there. Facebook, I wouldn't go heavy-handed. But you want it to read like a children's storybook. So you're not using proper paragraph structure or even sentence structure. That all goes out the window. So you want it to visually look like it's easy to read versus, a document that has very long paragraphs and single line spacing looks like it's going to be a lot more work. That alone will make a big difference for you. Consider your caption length. And there's no right or wrong length. It's about your post adding value and keeping your readers intrigued. But if you're wondering, if you're doing a post and you're like, God, I wonder if this is long. If you're wondering it, then it probably is long. I don't want you filling a post or an email or anything with fluff language just to kind of make it longer, like you did in college or in high school when you had to write a page length. It'd be like, it has to be a 10-page paper, and I'd be sizing shit instead of it, you could be double spaced, but I'd do 2.3 spacing just to get there. Did anyone else do that, or was I just terrible? I mean, I had other things to do, people. Wait. And I had other people to do too. I mean, college, wow. College in Boston was wild. That's another episode. Maybe that'll be for my OnlyFans. These are the kinds of stories, though, I do share at the beginning of our live trainings inside my ProjectME Posse business coaching membership. So we always have our coffee talk, and everyone gets involved. It's super fun. A lot of times I have a crazy story that you won't hear anywhere else, and then other people share theirs. And it's a really nice way. It's a really nice way to learn because you're actually having fun and it's not boring, because who wants to be there for that? Number 9, yes, use hashtags. Yes, you're still using the same hashtags. There's been announcements from Instagram that hashtags aren't going anywhere, but I think now hashtags are just being used in the algorithm differently. So you might want to look that up. I'm not going to go into the weeds with hashtags on here. I have my full hashtag formula as a training inside the Posse membership. I feel like we should start a drinking game with that, because how many times have you heard me say Black Friday sale? Can I say it any more times? And I'm not going to be sorry about it, because it's what I teach you to do. It's basically, if you're not in there, I don't know what to do with you. I'd say 80% of even my private clients go in there because the value is insane. Even if you treat it more like a podcast and you're not actually sitting at your desk or whatever at the trainings, it's still an incredible value you won't get anywhere else for $3.33. Okay, I'm going to take you through a sample caption. Yes, this is what I'm doing for you, where I'm breaking each thing down of a profitable, high converting caption. And what I've done is I have actually put this in the show notes as well. So if you want to follow along, you can swipe up. If you want to look at it later or refer back, it's right here in the show notes. And I will put it in my post today for Instagram as well. So you can go there, comment, share, all the things. Okay, let's break it down. Hook line. 80% of your mental bandwidth should be dedicated to this line. If you do grab their attention, they will read and they will stay engaged. If you don't, they'll never read it. They won't watch the rest of your message. And if you keep having crappy intros, crappy hook lines, what you then end up teaching these people is, oh, his or her stuff's boring. They might not unfollow you because that takes an extra step, but they'll stop engaging and leaning into your stuff. And then your stuff will be shared to them almost never. If you notice the stuff you engage with regularly, I mean, they do mix in some new things, but mostly it's the stuff you engage with regularly. You see their shit pop up first. Like my guess is you see all my stuff pop up first. You better be engaging with it. And I also have a real major pop in Pinterest page. So if you want to go see examples on Pinterest, you can go find me on there. I'm on TikTok. I'm everywhere at all the same places. Okay. So 98% of you are ignoring the most profitable content in social media. And you're like, wait, what? Where are you going with this? That was my hook line, right? It's like, oh, wait, what is it? It makes you do that. Next thing is relatability. Now you need to show your ideal client that you understand exactly where they're at in great detail. If people feel like you get them, they will buy from you. Here's an example. Let me guess, you're spending hours creating reels, writing captions, and making graphics while receiving little money in return. It's starting to get old, isn't it? Making you dread making content every day. There you go, relatability, where you're going to go, yes. You want your ideal client go, yeah, that's me. Then you go to the problem. So then you want to point out what they're likely doing wrong, thinking about, incorrectly, assuming what could be hurting them, a line of thinking that isn't serving them anymore. An example. The issue is you're thinking posting a bunch of stuff consistently is a profitable content strategy, and it isn't. This is why all of these influencers come to me with hundreds of thousands of followers and aren't making shit. So I pointed out the problem. Now we go to solution. What should they be doing differently? What behavior change, thought shift, technique will make a difference? Example, your Instagram feed posts and fun viral reels are designed to expand your audience and get in front of new people. So I'm giving an example of something that my listener could do. And then here's another example with the solution. This goes with it. Your Instagram stories are only shown to your existing followers. So while it may not seem as exciting because the numbers of views are far lower, 1 to 2% of your audience size, by the way, these are where your warm leads live. This is where the people are going to build a deeper relationship with you and buy from you. Treating your IG stories like an afterthought instead of a priority is like going to McDonald's after a 90-minute gym session. That's the solution of what I'm teaching you, okay? Again, you can follow along by swiping up and then re-listen to this. Want more guidance is the next place you go. Tell them how they can get more from you. Learn more. Be in your world more. Get more help. How can they learn from you? How can they hire you? How can they get more help with the thing you mentioned? Example, I teach my exact frame by frame Instagram story strategy inside my famous ProjectME Posse business coaching membership, which we're having the biggest sale of all time right now. Get over $2,000 in exclusive bonuses, my niche workshop 2-hour training, which I've never offered before, $50 off your first month. And there is only 1 day left. You're not going to want to miss it. You can swipe up. The link is right in the show notes, or go to projectmewithtiffany.com/Black Friday. That was the want more guidance part with the CTA, call to action, telling you where to go and what to do. And by the way, everything I just shared and taught you by reading you this post about Instagram stories, that's all true. That wasn't from my ass. That was a real example of a high converting post of mine. So I wanted to use one and dissect it for you. If you love this episode, take a screenshot, share it with someone who is resisting doing their content. They procrastinate on it. They don't know what to post, where to start, what to write, all those things. Share this episode with them. Help a fellow friend out who is being devoured by the content monster. I look forward to seeing you inside the Posse membership. And there are limited spots because I keep that membership at an intimate size. So once it's sold out, it'll say it on the sign up page. So you'll know it's sold out. And as soon as that happens, I even listen, even if you paid me extra, I can't let you in good faith. So you would have to wait until some members sign out or leave. And most of our members stay for years and years. It's wild. Well, you'll see why. You'll see why when you're in there. Okay. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.